The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca.
you.
And we are live with the intro. So Dr. Wallach, take it away.
Okay, well, thank you, Becca, and thank you, team. Okay, it's always a great day. Monday through Fridays, we're here sharing and helping people. I love that part that we're helping people. And we don't charge them for our services. So it's a double good. All right. Now, what I want to talk about today is a variant on osteoporosis of the skull. Most people don't realize it, but your jaw and your TMJ, your temporal mandibular joint, okay, where you have the joint where your jaw hooks in your skull, is all part of the skull. Okay, and you can have problems with your TMJ joint. You can have problems with your teeth and gums when you're a kid. A lot of kids, their teeth get loose and they start wandering around. And so they go to an orthodontist and they put braces on them. When you're older, your teeth are all loose and falling out. And so they pull out the remainder of the teeth there that are loose and won't make it for very long. And they will either do implants, okay, of fake teeth, or give you dentures that you can take out at night and put in the morning and so forth. And these are all signals that you're getting osteoporosis of the skull, because this is part of the skull, okay? And so it's one of those things where you really have to pay attention to the details. Just brushing your teeth in the morning and the evening won't cut it, okay? That's nice, but just think about all the people who've had to have dental surgery, jaw surgery, dental replacements, all kinds of stuff. And they were brushing their teeth, okay? That's because they weren't paying attention to the skull. And of course, we have the book, it's all in your head, and a CD that goes along with it. And this set was put together by myself and Milan and Rebecca. And the
I got
top
it up,
picture,
Doc.
huh?
I've got it up. You can put yours down so your voice isn't muffled.
Okay. And so the top picture is a picture of the skull, right? And you see this is normal. They've taken the calvary and they've taken the skull cap off. So you're looking down onto the brain, and you can see that the skull is 1/4 inch thick. The second picture below it, okay, is osteoporosis of the skull. They've taken the calvarium off, so they're looking down on the brain. And this is the sort of stuff that's going on with Bruce Willis right now. He's got MTD. He's got the brain stuff going on, where he's having the front part of the brain, the temporal part of the brain being squeezed, okay, and going away because he has, hello, somebody's breaking in and talking.
Excuse me, Dr. Wallach. Go ahead.
Block yourself, please.
You don't want me to block myself.
No, the other people, whoever.
No, it's me.
Oh, okay. All right. And so this is something that is ongoing. Most people think your bones are poured concrete. You get your bones and you got your bones, and eventually they're going to go away. Sometimes they go away faster than others. Well, that's not true. Your bones are dynamic living tissue, and they come and go based on what you eat, what you don't eat. Okay. And if you're eating gluten, wheat, butter, and oats, and you're not taking the 90 essential nutrients, which is required for your skull and your jaw to function properly and maintain healthy anatomy and physiology, it takes a lot of nutrition to do that. And if you can't absorb it because you're eating gluten, because your intestines are dead, you have a problem. So again, we want you to get this book in the CD set. It's all in your head. That will get you the information. There's 37 different diseases you can get, including TMJ, temporal mandibular joint disease. Okay, you get all these issues. There's, again, 37 different diseases you can get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. And some of them are not really very good because, you can get very aggressive behavior like I had between ages 5 and 9. 20 doctors couldn't figure it out. Today it's called Tourette syndrome. Back then they didn't even have a name for it. And just recently, about 2 months ago now, or close to 2 months ago now, the book, The Wallach Revolution, was published. This is a second edition, and it was put together originally by a team, okay? And of course, they're not individually named, but they because they didn't want to be noted for this, so they're a collection of doctors and lawyers and business people and so forth, and they call themselves the committee. And they put it together, and we were so very excited and happy about what they did. And then we decided there was other things we could add to it to launch it into a greater, broader audience, which we did. And it's available now, as I guess Becca's holding it up, the second edition. And we actually have, this is the part that makes my heart warm. We have very famous people, okay, like Pat Boone. Let's see here. Also, let's see here. Who else?
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. Yeah, Danny Glover, right? And then we have Andy Young, Ambassador to the United Nations, and also he was the mayor of Atlanta. And then we have people like, let's see here.
We have the story of Theo Ratliff.
Theo Ratliff, right? Theo Ratliff. Here's a guy, who had all kinds of trouble with his joints and this, that, and the other. We rebuilt him, and he tells how we did that with nutrition. Yeah, there you go. That's Theo. And he came back. He had to give up. They didn't give it up. They fired him because he couldn't play properly because of all his joint problems, bone problems, including skull. We rebuilt him using the what we now call the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Originally was called the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, and that was built for him. And he came back and he played professional basketball for 11 more years, made $100 million. And so his story's in there. Same way with Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield lost his heavyweight championship. He had to default because he had a heart attack and he couldn't answer the bell for the last round. So he lost his championship because he had a heart attack. We came up with a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for him, and he took it. And then 9 months later, he came back and destroyed Mike Tyson in the 6th round and got his heavyweight championship back. Now, who comes back from a near fatal heart attack to win a heavyweight championship fight? You got to be kidding me. So these are all the things that are in this book, The Wallach Revolution, but it tells you why. It tells you what's needed here and why we were in trouble, why we're in trouble. And if everybody were to follow the information in this book, The Wallach Revolution, we can save millions of lives a year in the world. We can save an enormous amount of unnecessary misery and save an enormous amount of money for individuals and families and insurance companies and everybody else. And insurance doesn't pay for nutrition. Insurance doesn't pay for nutrition. They only pay for prescription drugs and surgery and that kind of stuff. It's really sad because nutrition can prevent diseases and cure the patients. And so it's right now, everybody's got to pay their own way through. But if you're a customer with Youngevity, you get wholesale prices, okay? And then if you get an auto ship, I will pay the shipping, so you save a lot of money there. If you do this as a business out of your home, all your costs for your personal supplements, that kind of thing, also the space you use in your home, your utilities on the same percentages, insurance, same percentages, and so forth, your car, are all tax deductible. And then, of course, Rebecca and her teammates, they all know about this, and they get these tax deductions and so forth because they're using their cars and their houses and their offices and in their homes and so forth, and getting the tax deductions as well as the benefits of the nutrition. And so this is something that it gets you tears in your eyes. We spend $3 trillion a year with a T, $3 trillion a year in America alone, just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent or cure, but just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis and arthritis. In America, we spend $3 trillion a year. It all goes into the doctor's pockets, okay? $626.8 billion for arthritis, which is osteoporosis of the joints, and then $2.3 trillion to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis. Combined, it's $3 trillion. Oh my gosh. And of course, the doctors aren't working real hard to find a better way. They're just staying with that system because it's worth $3 trillion to them. So we think we have found a better way to prevent and reverse these diseases, including what's going on with the jaw, okay, and dentistry. And it's one of those things where dentistry starts in kids, you know, when they go to these doctors who do braces for kids, all right? And it's one of those things where it's just really sad that just for a few dollars, you can actually prevent all this and reverse it, get back to normal. The skull is something that has a capacity to repair itself. When you have osteoporosis of your knees, doctors want to do a double knee replacement. You have osteoporosis of your hips, the doctors want to do a double hip replacement. You have osteoporosis of your skull, they're going to give you a double head replacement. Come on. No. And so basically what we got to do here is get this information out there so that it's a, what should I say? It's a movement, it's a flood of the average person. Everybody has a skull, and everybody should ask their physicians, is there such a thing as osteoporosis of the skull? And they will laugh at you and slap their knee and say, who told you that? There's never been a report on osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. Well, there's 37 different diseases you get from osteoporosis of the skull. I'm not going to say anything else, but you get the picture. Okay, if your income is coming from that slew of diseases, why would you want to change that? You just treat it. Okay, and so I'm not going to go any further, but you have your own ideas and you can understand, I think, what I'm saying. So TMJ is no different than arthritis in your knees. TMJ is no different than osteoporosis of the long bones in your legs and arms and vertebrae and all that kind of stuff. And so you start, you know, when you're a kid, and you continue doing this as you're going through puberty, and you continue this as you go in later life, and particularly in women, if they're going to have kids or they don't even think they're going to have kids, you never know. You go to a party, you never know what's going to happen. And so you need to make sure you're taking all your 90 essential nutrients and staying away from the bad stuff so you can maximize absorption. And that's why we came out with a book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes, okay, and also safe cooking methods, and then all the nutrients you need to prevent and reverse these diseases. Why do you want to spend $626.8 billion a year just to treat arthritis, osteoporosis of the joints? Why do you want to spend $2.3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis? No, no, no. It's a lot cheaper just to take the vitamins and minerals. It's a lot cheaper to cook properly and stay away from the bad stuff so you can absorb. No gluten, no buckwheat, no phagopyrines. And buckwheat and phagopyrines cause lupus. Oh, it's autoimmune, your body's attacking itself. That's when we came out with the book, Epigenetics, which is a summary of my book that's in the Smithsonian Institute. That's me in 1976 when I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a monkey destined for space with NASA, okay? And they fired me because they said it wasn't genetic, and they fired me. And well, it was a terrible, terrible beginning, but in the end, we prevailed because now we know what causes these problems, okay? And so my attorney, John Nemord, and I, just on that one subject, we sued the FDA 8 times in federal court, got these nutrients put into the Infamil, Similac, and the like, and we eliminated cystic fibrosis in kids and other birth defects. We eliminated muscular dystrophy, and Jerry Lewis knew that for a couple of years before he died. And it was one of those things where he was so excited, he took the information to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired Jerry Lewis and put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything to anybody, because he brought them the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. And then it also wound up preventing sudden death syndrome. So I'm the guy who's responsible for getting rid of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, let's see here, also the sudden death syndrome. You don't hear about those things anymore because they're in the baby formulas. I'm the guy that forced them to be put in there with my attorney, Jonathan Nemore. All right, and doctors are saying for years and years and years and years that sudden death syndrome was caused by the mothers laying on the babies and suffocating them. Just a simple nutritional deficiency. Okay, so this is an endless story. It's an endless story, and I'm so excited about it. We have all these tools now, okay? And of course, we have 10 CDs, big CD set, 10 healthy secrets your doctor doesn't want you to know about. These are 10 Zooms that we put on CDs. Okay, it's the pharmacist Keith Abel and myself, so it's from pharmacy and nutrition from the naturopathic doctor. This is a great set. It's flying out the door. Okay, and then all these young athletes dying. Okay, there's a new bull in town. Okay, all these young athletes dying. There's 3 CDs in here. The average life expectancy for professional athletes in America is, let's see here, 57.3, I think it is. Okay, and we have the CD. Let's see here, Dead Athletes Don't Lie. We have the CD. Let's see here, exercise on supplementation and suicide. You see this every week. There's all these 20, 30, and 40-year-old athletes. They're Olympic athletes, they're professional athletes, they're just people who exercise because they think exercise alone is good. Well, exercise without supplementation is suicide because you're sweating. And we already talked about that in another earlier program. When you sweat, you're not just sweating out water, and drinking water after exercise to rehydrate doesn't cut it. And that's when we came out with the Rebound, or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. Our Rebound has 75 minerals and 25 vitamins and amino acids in it, whereas Red Bull has 1 mineral, magnesium. And I think they did that because that was the mineral of choice of Bruce Lee, who's considered the fitness guru by every country in the world in the 1960s. And he died at age 32 of a heart attack in 1973 because he was only taking magnesium. What a terrible, terrible loss. He was such a wonderful man. A terrible story. He was getting a lot of misinformation because he was asking doctors, what do I need to supplement? Oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. And he believed the doctors, which was essentially the cause of death on his suicide, on the cause of death on his death certificate would be follow doctor's instructions. That would be his cause of death. Okay. So with that, we're going to go over to Becca and find out if we have any questions.
Well, we have lots of questions, Dr. Wallach, but I do want to let people know that it's the Citizens Committee for Better Medicine that wrote the original of this book that Dr. Wallach has now made their unauthorized, the authorized biography of a medical genius. And there are lots of stories. There's dozens of stories of people's testimonials, including the research. So it starts out with the research and all that Dr. Wallach has done. And through all that he has done, he was given the Klaus Schwartz Award for his work with the selenium and just minerals and how they are so closely linked to deficiencies. So you have done a lot, Dr. Wallach, and where you have gotten some recognition, I don't think that it's far enough. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, to make sure that your message that has been helping millions of people continues to grow and grow and grow.
Well, to me, that's the best reward I could possibly have, is to know that the information is helping so many people.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we do have several hands up, Dr. Wallach, so let's go ahead and move on to hands. And the first hand that we have is Barham. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey guys, it's nice to speak to you again, everyone. Dr.
Welcome.
Wallach. Hello. So, Dr. Wallach, I have a question about my cat, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
So, sounds good. So I noticed 2 months ago that he has an issue pooping. When I saw it, it was really hard and dry like a rock. and he licks himself a lot. He'll lick, the other cat I have. And so yeah, I'm wondering what might be the issue with him.
Okay, stop there. What are you feeding the cat?
So dry food until I switch to wet food, listening to you guys and knowing that I can pour like Arthrodex and other things in there for them to eat. So
Okay.
what is a combination of two?
I would give him a canned cat food that's moist. I would also Arthrodex. It'd be one scoop. I don't care if the cat only weighs 8 pounds. I'd give him a full scoop of the Arthrodex.
Okay.
And make sure that there's no table scraps where there might be contamination from gluten or buckwheat or anything like that. And so again, I'd go with a canned cat food and the Arthrodex. And wouldn't hurt to have a special bowl for drinking water and put a ounce of our plant-derived colloidal minerals in a pint of the drinking water in that dish for the cat to get its drinking water. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then call us
Awesome.
in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You bet.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Wallach, I wanted to thank Mark, who wrote in about bone loss in the jaw and wanted to know if it was from osteoporosis, which, as you are sending in your emails and questions, people, this is where we get the information of what you want to know. What is the greatest concern? So please go to dailywithdoc.com. You can sign up for a newsletter and submit your questions there. And know that even though that there is a store on dailywithdoc.com, if you were specifically invited by somebody, get back with them. They took the time because they care. Make sure that you get back with them and thank them for caring and ask them if they have a special way that they order their products and how they can help you get what you need also. So thank you so much, Mark, for writing in about that. And while we're on that, Dr. Wallach, what would be your full protocol? So he has been told that, and this is by a university, Dr. Wallach, that they want to do bone replacement operation of his jaw because he's got loose teeth. He doesn't want to lose his teeth.
Well, this is a nutritional deficiency. Okay. So he's got to get rid of all the bad foods. And again, I have him get that book, Dr. Wallach Cooking About the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and cooking methods. Absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats. By processed meats, I mean hot dogs, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, spam, ham, bacon, got nitrates and other chemicals in there, shouldn't have. Then no oils, no cooking oils, absolutely no frying oils, no that kind of stuff, no salad dressings, absolutely no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats. Well, my doctor says eat a lot of whole grains. Well, change doctors. Okay. Get that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Whole grains, when you're talking about wheat, barley, rye, oats, they have gluten in them. They kill your lining of your intestine, which reduces your ability to absorb nutrients by 98%. Even if you're taking them, people say, yeah, I took vitamins and minerals, didn't help me any. What do you eat for breakfast every morning? Oh, I have oatmeal for breakfast. I've had oatmeal for breakfast my whole life. Well, that's why you're not getting any results, because your intestines are dead. And even though you're taking all these nutrients, they're going into the septic tank, coming out the back end. Okay. So you have to be able to absorb these nutrients. And so no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats, no buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat does have FAGO, F-A-G-O pyrines, which are worse than gluten. And then no sugar of any kind. And then absolutely no carbonated drinks. And we're talking about alkaline water and carbonated water. And we're talking about, just carbonated water. People say, I don't even drink soft drinks. I don't want all that sugar and caffeine and everything. I just drink carbonated water. Well, carbonation in water neutralizes your stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. You have to have stomach acid. The good Lord gave your stomach the capacity to make stomach acid, but you do require certain nutrients to make stomach acid, and it's called salt. So we do have the salt, okay, from Australia. Okay, this is a salt from Australia. Okay, it's the seasoned salt, okay, from Australia. every once in a while we'll get the Himalayan salt. And so these things are exactly very, very important. Okay. Salt has two required nutrients. Both of them required by every cell in your body. Sodium, which has all have to do with the metabolism of the cells and all that kind of stuff. And then chloride. What is your stomach acid? Hydrochloric acid, made from salt. So if you're not salting your food, you're eating gluten, and you're not supplementing, you're in deep trouble because you're killing yourself from three different directions. Okay, this is not difficult. It's actually very simple. Okay, but you have to pay attention and do all the good things and stay away from the bad things every meal, every day, every year of your life. And it was always that way, but it got worse at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, in Pearl Street, New York City, in the Bluff Overlooking Construction Bridge, when we went to electricity. And it was got so bad that even the U.S. Senate figured it out. Okay. In 1936, the U.S. Senate came out with the U.S. Senate document 264. In 1936, they said there's no longer sufficient amounts of nutritional minerals in our farm soils to support long and healthy human life. Okay, because it was like 18 years, okay, after electricity started, we were starting to get all these diseases nobody had ever seen before. And that's when doctors came up with the false concept that they were caused by genetics and autoimmune factors, okay, because they didn't know what it was caused by. It was caused by just simple nutritional deficiencies, and they didn't know that. They still don't know that. They don't get taught any detailed nutrition in medical school. They just say, well, just have them eat well, we're gonna get everything they need. That's absolute nonsense.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And next, let's go to Jill, who has her hand up. Jill, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello there. Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi. How can we help you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I can.
I have two different questions. The first one is I have a new customer. She's 70 years old. She's 5'4" and she weighs 147 pounds. She has high blood pressure, and she started taking just the regular Healthy Body Start Pack, including the liquid osteo. And I started her slow because I always start everybody, on smaller doses the first couple of days. But even with that, her blood pressure spiked. And she said that normally it's 115 to 120 over 77. And she does take blood pressure pill, but she kind of monitors it and changes it based on what her blood pressure is doing. But she said when she took the regular Healthy Body Start Pack at a smaller dose, it went to 165 over 95, which was higher than she's ever been. Mm-hmm. And she said she doesn't feel well if her blood pressure is 150 over 90. So right now she's only doing one scoop.
Okay.
Of the
stop. Okay, now she can't stop taking her medication. So that may have been part of it. If she reduced her medication or stopped taking it.
No, she didn't. She didn't. But apparently she takes anywhere between a half a pill and a pill. Mm-hmm. She didn't change how she takes her medication. She's just telling me that what she does take the blood pressure meds. Mm-hmm. And with the blood pressure meds, that's where it usually ranges.
Okay, well, she needs to add to this program, okay, the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. It's 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. At her body weight, she could take 3 twice a day, and they will help reduce her blood pressure and help blood flow through blocked arteries. But don't cold turkey, obviously, off of her medication. But as the blood pressure begins to drop, you can slowly reduce the medication. There's something going on there where maybe she ate, oatmeal for breakfast that morning and didn't absorb, or who knows? Okay, that doesn't sound right to me.
No, I know, I understand. I mean, I don't disagree at all that it could be something that she ate, but she reduced it, and so now she's only doing 1 scoop instead of 2 of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 and half an ounce of liquid osteo effects, but her blood pressure is still higher than it normally is.
It's not going to come down until she takes the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets.
Okay. So which of the 2 products do you think is spiking her blood pressure? The BTT or the osteo?
I think she probably cut back on her medication.
She said she didn't.
Well,
no.
I think she cut back on her medication because I treat thousands of people okay, with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, and they never have a spike in their blood pressure.
And
Never.
that's what I told her. And that's what I
Okay,
told
so
her.
she's got to be doing something weird by stopping taking her medication or something like that. You don't stop taking your medication when you start our program, okay? But as the blood pressure begins to come down, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. So I suspect that she just took our stuff and then stopped taking the medication is why it spiked.
Okay. All right.
Quickly, second question.
Thank you. The second question is, I hear people all day long that have been told by a doctor, a nurse, a friend, whatever, to take magnesium, and they're looking for just magnesium, not calcium and magnesium. And what's your thought about that?
Okay, well, they take magnesium only because they're listening to Bruce Lee, who is the fitness guru, and also it's the only mineral that Red Bull puts in their sports drink.
Yeah.
And so they think that is the mineral. Well, don't do that. You need to take them all. Okay. We require 60 different minerals. Okay. That's why our sports drink Rebound has 75 minerals and Red Bull only has 1, magnesium. Okay. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay. That's
Well, they're
like
telling
saying,
them to take it to sleep. They're telling them specifically to take it to sleep.
well,
And they're looking for just magnesium. And I'm telling them, no, it's calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, strontium, and it's the 90.
It's more than that. It's more than that. It's all 90 essential nutrients. And this is a problem when people say, they always, I used to fall for that. Okay. They'd say, well, what mineral is this? And I would tell them what the mineral was. And then I'd go 3 months, I didn't hear from them. So I called them and say, hey, Julie, whatever happened to Frank? I haven't heard with you guys. Well, he did that. He took that mineral you said, and 3 months later, he died. That's because he was only taking that 1 mineral. He wasn't taking all 90.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't play that game. Well, which one is it? No, you take them all. Okay, it's one of those things where you don't just put oil in your car. You also have transmission fluid. You have brake fluid. You have antifreeze. You have windshield wiper fluid. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to do the same thing for yourself. You can't just say, well, I just put oil in my car and the engine blew up. Well, did you have heavy grease in there? No. Did you have any antifreeze in it? No. Okay, so that's, you have to do the whole thing. And you can't play that game of, okay, I'm going to take this and give up everything else. They're trying to save money and they kill themselves.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Jill. Now, Dr. Wallach, I have Doug in California, and he says, I'm anemic. I don't know why. How can I best pump up my red blood cells? I love your show, Dr. Wallach. So,
do we know anything about him, what he weighs or anything like that?
175 pounds at 5'8". And he is 52 years old.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so going on what we know, he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens. You can be supplementing with 5 pounds of iron a day. If you're eating gluten, you can't absorb any of it. It's all going in the toilet unless it's constipating you a lot. Okay, and so there's something going on there with his eating habits. Okay, he's got to get rid of all the bad stuff. Get that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And then let's see here, 175 pounds. I want him to have 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs a month, the photos, everything twice a day. I want him to have 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And that's going to help him with his bone marrow, which is very important because that's where the red blood cells are made, in the bone marrow. I also want him to have the collagen peptides. I want him to get 2 canisters a month so he can take a scoop of that with his morning drinks, with his evening drink. I want him to have vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And he needs the, let's see here, that'll be 2 bottles a month. That's so he can absorb the minerals and put them in his bones and so forth. But he's got to stay away from the bad stuff. Gluten, wheat bran around oats, buckwheat, phagopyrines, carbonated drinks, all that's got to go. And again, this is where the good food, bad food list comes in the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Very important. And We have, of course, the Rebound or Sports Drink with 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals, and 25 vitamins, amino acids. We have the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. We have the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. All these things have these multiples of nutrients in there to cover every nutritional need of the body. But you have to stay away from the bad stuff so you can absorb them. And this is a lifetime deal. This is not just till you feel a little better and then you can quit all this. No, 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 no. How long do you need oxygen? Forever. How long do you need water? Forever. How long do you need the 90 essential nutrients? Forever. How long do you need to stay away from the bad stuff? Forever. If you break that forever thing anywhere in that process, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you high amounts of money, paying for medical care. It's going to cost you in years of your life. Okay. You can add 25 to 50 healthier years of your life, or it can take away 25 to 50 years of your life, depending on what you do.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And let's go to the next hand that is up. And Bobby, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Wallach, and thank you, Rebecca and the team. Dr. Wallach, I have a question. I have a male. He's 24 years of age, 92 pounds, 5 feet, and he eats a lot of junk food. He sleeps most of the day. And in 3 days, he ate a big jar of pickles.
Yeah, well, he's craving stuff. And of course, a jar of pickles, I guarantee you there's a lot of salt in there. And that was good for him to taste that salt and eat the pickles because they have salt in them. But, to do that, for 1 week out of his life, that's not enough. At 92 pounds, he needs one Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Got to give her all the bad foods, get a hold of that book, Good Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and cooking methods. And then he needs one Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month, a half a dose of everything at breakfast, half a dose at dinner time, 1 bottle a month of MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. He needs, let's see here, 2 scoops a day, 1 at breakfast drink and 1 dinner drink of the collagen peptides. And then I also want him to use our Rebound or Sports Drink with 100 nutrients in it. At his body weight, he could have 1 for sure, maybe 2, but I wouldn't take the second one after, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it might keep him up all night or something like that. But I weigh 142 and I drink 2 of those Rebounds a day. I pop the tops in the cans when I'm at home and put them in the refrigerator, have 1 at breakfast, 1 like at maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. When I'm on the road, I use the sticks. There's 30 sticks in a box. It's the same recipe. Okay. It has the 100 nutrients, 75 minerals. And of course, we also have the canister. Most of these foreign countries, they only let the canister in. They don't let the cans in. I only drink the cans at home. On the road, I take the sticks. I don't even take the canister on an airplane because the guys who inspect everything, they never close everything tight enough and wind up getting all that powder all over everything. And so I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients since I was 9 years old, a minimum of twice a day. I've been doing this for 75 years. Okay. And it's one of those things where I've only was sick 3 days when I fell into a trench up in Canada. Okay, because they put a trench in a place where it hadn't been before. There were no lights. We were just walking through the woods and fell into that trench. They gave me IV antibiotics for 3 days. Other than that, I'm 80, going out in a couple of months, I'll be 84 years old. And other than those 3 days when we were giving the IV antibiotics to prevent infection from killing me from that wound, from falling in that hole, guess what? I've never been on any prescription drugs. I don't have any diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis. I don't have heart disease. I don't have anything like liver cirrhosis. I don't have gallbladder problems. I don't have digestive problems. Okay, I don't have anemia. This is not difficult. Okay, I only have lost 1 tooth. That was in a fight in a mall where 3 guys tried to take my packages away from me, and of course one of them paid the price. The other 2 ran away. I did lose 1 tooth, but these are my own teeth. I'm 84 years old and I still have my own teeth. Okay, and that's because I've been taking these 90 essential nutrients, okay, since I was 9.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach, for that and all the information. Great questions today. Now, I am going back to your veterinarian hat, Dr. Wallach.
Okay.
And we have a large, I believe he's a Mastiff. I'm not quite sure. But he has gotten this bacterial infection that is causing a runny black or bloody stool. So what would your recommendation be? We've got a large dog, about 75 pounds. And I think he's only like 7 years old.
Okay. Well, if they don't want to do the antibiotic thing, we do have the colloidal silver. They give them 2 droppers full of colloidal silver under his tongue in the morning, in the middle of the day, and in the evening before everybody goes to bed. And that's it's been used as an antibiotic by humans for thousands and thousands of years, and it's safe. There's no alcohol in it, anything like that, so the dog's not going to get drunk. And then I would also, to support the immune system, make sure that he has the Arthrodex. The Arthrodex is 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. So I'd give him 4 scoops, even though it's a little bit extra. I'd give him 4 scoops, okay, of the Arthrodex in his food every day. And I prefer the canned dog foods, like a can of dog food with all the vitamins and minerals in it. And the canned dog foods, they put how much of that dog food you're supposed to feed a 100-pound dog, a 75-pound dog, a 50-pound dog, and all that kind of stuff. So follow that schedule. And that's kind of where I would go with that.
And I just got notice he's also been diagnosed with Lyme disease. Would you add anything different to that?
Okay, colloidal silver, colloidal silver, colloidal silver, colloidal silver.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Dr. Wallach, the next question has to do with blood pressure. So this individual is 43 years old, 126 pounds at 5'4". And she says that her blood pressure is always running really low, like 90/52 is the number she writes here. I know for some people that's normal, for other people that's not normal. What would you recommend? She has no other health concerns, and
Does she say anything like she's drowsy or wants to go to bed early? Or?
I was just getting to that. She says when her blood pressure is running lower, she just has no energy. Okay,
I would like to know what her blood sugar is at that point when she has no energy. I want to know what her blood sugar is, if she has reactive hypoglycemia. Does she have these episodes like an hour or 2 after she eats? Or do they happen any time of the day? If they happen after she eats, and it's a reactive hypoglycemia, and as the blood sugar drops, okay, the blood pressure can drop along with it. Okay. So she can figure that out herself. She can take her own blood pressure. She can take her own blood sugar, right? And so it's one of those things where you got to track that kind of stuff. But at let's see here, she's how much?
126 pounds.
126 pounds. Okay, 126 pounds. I was looking at the wrong box there. 126 pounds. I want her to have, let's see here, 2 bottles a month of our sweeties, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. I want her to get 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, so you can take 3 twice a day. I want her to have, at 120 pounds, 1 Healthy Brain and Heart pack, a half a dose of everything twice a day. And let's see here. Also, I want her to have 1 bottle a month, again, the Ultimate Daily Classic, those 3 names, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. And that will support healthy blood pressure, healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And then, of course, the sweeties, 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help her manage blood sugar, but she's got to stay away, okay, from all the bad stuff. And so we need to find out what her blood sugar runs when she gets that sleepy feeling. Okay.
I will definitely get back with her on that, get that question answered, because that's very important. When the blood sugar drops, energy drops.
Well, that's what happens when people are driving down the highway and they fall asleep at the wheel and cross the center line and cause a head-on collision. It's hypoglycemia, you know, so you find out, oh, it was an hour after they had lunch or an hour after they had dinner, and they have a couple of soft drinks and some candy and all that kind of stuff, all that sugar. Okay, and then an hour later, their blood sugar is 30 instead of 80. Okay, and they're falling asleep. People fall asleep watching TV. Oh yeah, I had a big meal. I just get drowsy when I get a big meal. And so I just stay at home and watch TV, and because I know I'm going to fall asleep on the couch an hour after I eat. Well, that's reactive hypoglycemia, and that's a nutritional deficiency. It's not a genetic thing. It's not an autoimmune thing. It's not something that happens with age. It's a nutritional deficiency.
All right. Well, I know people that black out, Dr. Wallach, completely black out, pass out when their blood sugar hits 55.
Yep.
So to hit 30, oh my goodness, that's really low. Really low.
Yeah.
So talking about that, I know some people that just have no control over being able to stay awake. I mean, they'll be going along doing their thing, and then all of a sudden they're fighting and sometimes can't fight hard enough to stay awake no matter where they're at or what they're doing. So
Well,
like what you
again,
were talking about when they're driving.
That's a bad time to have reactive hypoglycemia.
And that's just, those are symptoms of having that reactive hypoglycemia.
That's correct. Especially after a meal, you know, when you have a high carb meal like spaghetti, something like that, or pancakes for breakfast, waffles, maybe for dinner time. You have a big piece of cake for dessert or something like that. And then you're watching TV, and like 30 minutes after you're watching TV, they're elbowing you. Hey, wake up, you're missing the good part of the movie here. And they're already asleep.
So those carbohydrates, they can be gluten-free also, right? We
Oh yeah,
still
that
have
has
to,
nothing to that. The low blood sugar is due to sugar. Okay. And so it's one of those things where if you have a gluten issue, it might protect you from some of that. Okay, because you're not going to absorb so much sugar. Okay. But you don't want to be getting gluten. Okay. You want to be getting all 90 essential nutrients so your body's able to do what it's supposed to do. And you do want to stay away from all the bad stuff, including gluten, wheat, bran, rye, oats, and buckwheat, phagopyrenes. Again, you want to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. You want to add 25 to 50 healthy years to the life of the people you love. These are very easy details to take care of. You don't need a doctor's permission to take the 90 essential nutrients. You don't need a doctor's permission to, you know, if you know you're going to be driving, don't be eating high carbohydrate meals before you drive, okay, because you're going to fall asleep, especially if you're deficient in those nutrients. Get a hair analysis. Get a hair analysis. Get the book, Rarest Forbidden Cures, and page 272, chapters 10 and 11, tells you how to collect the hair, where to ship it, because there's certain nutrients, there's very specific nutrients that are missing when you have reactive hypoglycemia. And people say, which one are they? Which one are they? And I used to tell people, and they'd run to the store and they'd buy those 2 minerals, and then 2 months later, they're dead. Okay? Because they just took those 2 minerals and left out the other 78 or 87 or whatever it is.
Yeah, 2 of 90 is not going to do it for you, folks. We've got to get all 90 essential nutrients. And Dr. Wallach, we need to get you to helping more people. And thank you so much for joining us once again here on Daily with Doc. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Don't forget the jaw.
Don't forget the jaw. That's right. Keep everything good and strong. So thank you again, Dr. Wallach. We will see you tomorrow. And I just want to thank all of my co-hosts. I have on with me today, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who is my technical. She makes make sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to with the stream. We have Heather Bowen, who is my social media expert, making sure that information is being shared around social media. And also she's helping to monitor the chat. So if you've got questions that you're bringing up on social media, go ahead, bring those. We have somebody that's going to help make sure all of those questions get answered as well. We have Marilyn on with us today. She has been so diligent about putting information in the chat so that you who are live with us can take that information and write it down, because I know Dr. Wallach talks really fast. And having that information in the chat is so very helpful. And we have Miss Sherry. Thank you so much, Miss Sherry, as she's monitoring the waiting room to make sure that everybody gets in on a timely manner so that they don't miss anything, and also helping to keep track of that chat. So again, my name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, Daily with Doc, it is my honor and privilege to be able to create this resource to help you help yourself. Go to our website and you'll be able to find all of the replays from our programming. With the new website, we do have a couple-day delay as we're getting everything situated and getting it onto the website, but we do have our previous shows and from also our previous broadcasts that we have held over the last over 2.5 years, which I am super excited to have that there. There's also a store that has the products Dr. Wallach mentioned, but again, get back with the person who shared this program with you. If there's nobody to thank, then feel free to use our website, use our contact us, and we will get you in contact with a certified holistic health coach to help you get the information you need so that you can do more than just survive, but actually thrive. Until next time, bye for now.